first of all, I'm here. My name is Enrico Vannucci. I'm one of the programmers of Torino Short Film Market. I'm here just to say welcome. We are very happy to have this workshop today. We started a collaboration with the Media Desk Torino last year, developing these workshops for especially festivals. It went very well last year, and we said, why don't we do it this year as well? And it's good to see a lot of people here. Today, the title of our workshop is Boosting Your Film Festival, Financial Planning, Collaborations and Creativity at Film Festivals. As I said, the workshop is supported by Creative Europe Desk Media Torino. And today we will start with an introduction by Silvia Sandrone, here on my right. The workshop will be hosted by Doris Power, here on my left. And she will talk for like 45 minutes, right? More or less. After that, we will take a 15 minutes break. And then after the break, Doris will be joined by Anne Gaschutz and Matt Lloyd. And they will have a discussion about collaborations between festivals. And then you will also be able to ask questions to the panelists.
Welcome, everybody. As Enrico said, I work at the media office. We are based in Turin, and it's the information and promotion office for Creative Europe program media in Italy, together with other two offices in Rome and in Bari. And our also organization is Istituto Luce Cinecittà. We decided to focus again on festivals and collaboration among festivals because, as you probably might already know, the European Commission and the Executive Agency have just published a new call with a new action for festival, which is the action that I'm going to present you today, support to European networks of festival. In particular, one of the main priority for Creative Europe is the circulation of works, of films beyond the original country, the national borders. So distribution is very important, and of course, it's very important for the European Commission to support festivals because, of course, festivals are essential, are crucial in helping European films to achieve prominence, to achieve visibility, and cross-border access. So audience reach is another important priority for Creative Europe. There are also call for proposal specifically for that events. Now I'm going to give you a very short, I hope, because maybe this is the boring part of the workshop, so I will try to be short, but of course grants are also important. And I just wanted to say that in the sector of promotion and access to market, there are many events like co-production forum, pitching events, which are supported by media, and I'm very happy that Torino Short Film Market this year got for the first time media grant. Jacopo Chessa yesterday told me that there are something like 45, 47 countries represented, and this is really one of the main goals for media. And also in our small workshop, we are very happy that we have this international dimension, and I think we have 15 countries represented, which is really good. As I said before, we have a new call with a new action for networks of festival. The deadline will be in April, the 23rd of April. The budget is not a very high budget, it's 500,000 euros. And the maximum contribution per network is 180,000 euro. and per festival is 30,000. We also have a maximum co-financing rate, which is the 80% of all the eligible costs of the action. The applicant need to be a coordinator plus minimum 3 members, 3 other festivals established in 3 different countries, in Europe, of course. So the coordinator will apply to the media program and will represent the other members that have to sign a letter of intent. In order to be eligible and to enter the selection, which is, by the way, very competitive, you need to have a minimum of 70% of the eligible programming coming from media countries. At least 50% of the film must be non-national, and 15 countries need to be represented. These eligible criteria concern all the network members, not only the coordinator. They have to show effective, concrete collaboration and partnership across borders, and to prove strategies for joint activities in order to expand their audience, the interest for European audiovisual works. They expect to maximize results at European level in terms of costs, economies of scale, enhanced talent development, cross-border mobility, not only for works, but also for people, for the team of the festival, for professionals. Drive innovation in digital. Innovation is a crucial topic for the European Commission because media program is part of the DG Connect, so we have to keep it in mind. And also streamline best practices, knowledge sharing. I would like to leave you with this study, with this report, which was published this year by the European Commission. And this report aimed to map and evaluate the existing collaboration model among film festivals. It's possible to download it from the website of the European Commission. And it's really helpful to find out how you can develop your collaboration and networking. And I just wanted to add that the network can also be a new network. I mean, you can also build a new network and apply to this call for proposal, but it's maybe it's less competitive, and the executive agency is encouraging more already built networks. So it's better to work maybe on that.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Warm welcome also from my side. Thank you, Silvia, for the introduction and also the invitation to this event. And also thanks to Enrico from Torino Short Film Market. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm happy to talk to you about financial planning, collaborations and creativity from a festival's perspective here today. My name is Doris Bauer and my festival is Vienna Shorts, the International Short Film Festival in Vienna, Austria. With this presentation here, I would like to tell you about some experiences we made with the festival Vienna Shorts in terms of financing and collaboration. It's divided in 3 parts. Part 1 is the financial situation of Vienna Shorts and examples of special projects we did in the past years. Part 2 is a brief overview about the festival, followed by a deeper insights in statistics with an excursion to our new compliance guidelines. And part 3 gives some insights into some current collaborations of the festival. Maybe yesterday was the deadline for the festival call, Action 1 from media. And yes, we managed to deliver the extensive documents in time. So yeah, I hope you all did as well. Vienna Shorts gets a media grant. This support is very important for us, not only because there is 25,000 euro missing from our budget, but also because it has given us important recognition at European level. Besides media, most of other funding applications of Vienna Shorts were already submitted in September for the city of Vienna and for the federal government, but also for the collecting societies of the filmmakers. And yeah, the smaller funding partners will follow until around January now. Besides the applications for funding, first sponsoring mailings are already starting now. Vienna Shorts can fall back on many long-standing partnerships, but this area has changed a lot over the last few years, and maybe you have had the same experiences. It is more and more difficult to win real sponsoring partners. Very often, the cooperation is based on new projects which are developed and implemented for the sponsoring partners. Vienna Shorts has always been very active in these fields in the recent years. I would like to give you a few examples here. In 2018, Vienna Shorts built several small cinemas into an exhibition space at the Museum's Quarter in Vienna and showed short films on the occasion of the 100-year anniversary of the Austrian Republic, reaching more than 8,000 people over the course of 2.5 months. This was handled by our association and completely separated from the festival, with its own budget, its own personnel structure and management, and but with one goal in mind, to create financial added value for the festival. I would like to give you, especially for those who do not know us or the festival, to give you a short general overview about the festival. Vienna Short shows between 250 and 350 short films from all over the world at several venues in Vienna, Vienna city center. The festival attracts in total more than 10,000 visitors in 6 days, and around we have 700 accredited artists, professional and critics. Out of 4,500 submissions, it grows every year. The festival presents a hand-picked selection from the most exceptional recent works in 2 international competitions. The sections are fiction and documentary. It's for fictional, for live-action shorts and for documentaries. The other one is animation avant-garde for animations and experimental works. The best national productions compete in the Austrian competition and for the Austrian Music Video Award. We roughly divided into 4 sections from 2020. The official selection I already mentioned. The section expeditions. In the section we explore contemporary and historical corners and edges of the world and focus on the presentation of talents and influential artists with a singular creative vision. Then it's the section expanded. In this section takes account of the eventfulness and direct nature of a festival and presents live formats like performances, film concerts, and also virtual reality events that go beyond the cinema screen. The section Academy provides a suitable framework for professional exchange in order to strengthen the examination of various cinematic forms, working methods, and socio-political themes. It's our budget, an overview of the development of our budget from 2011 to 2020. It has increased from about 90,000 euro in 2011 to 285,000 euro this year, and planned 380 euro for next year. I was amazed at how little money we had to make out a few years ago. I mean, yeah, I'm in charge for 1 year now, and finding those numbers was just a surprise. Before 2011, I don't know. I couldn't find those numbers anywhere, so I don't know how little it was. 2013 to 2015, we implemented a lucrative short film competition called Night of the Light. I mentioned this earlier. It is this event together with Wien Energie. Wien Energie is the gas and electricity supplier in Vienna. And we made this event and also the competition, a gala event during the festival together with them. And this has made a significant contribution to stabilizing the festival during this period, accompanied by an overall increase in the budget. As usual in Europe, our festival is based entirely on subsidies and cannot exist independently of them. But the growing trust of the funding agencies is accompanied by an increase in trust from other sources, and that's important, I think. For the festival, 3 people work for the festival for the whole year, and all the others, they work for 1 month, for 1 week to 3 months, it depends. And it's around 20 people in total for the organizational part, and then for the festival we have a lot more people with a lot of volunteers, but also with the projectionists and all the people during the festival. It grows. But just in a nutshell, for years Vienna Shorts has been strongly committed to fair payments for its employees. Unfortunately, this is still not possible for a festival of this size. In these guidelines, we have defined standards for ourselves, which are unavoidable for us and must be fulfilled. This is about fairness towards our employees, towards the filmmakers, the industry, the festival partners, like the funding institutions and the audience, and also the environment. You talked about green and sustainability. That's important for festivals. It gets important for festivals as well. It's important for us as a festival to this interchange between the guests and the industry. And the next part is the audience and the cooperation partners. It was a strategy for us also to work with the funding institutions to formulate those principles. Because before, the funding institutions weren't really happy with us asking more money for fair payments for our employees. It was not really important to them, but in complete contrast to the previous defensive attitude, when we demanded more money for a fair remuneration of our personnel, this time they welcomed our comprehensive and positively formulated approach. So our funding partners have welcomed this current initiative with much sympathy. Now I come to the collaborations and beautiful projects that have grown out of them. Our clear standpoint first. Vienna Shorts is strongly focusing on initiating, maintaining and engaging in exchange with other film festivals on a national, European and international level in order to increase its position as a European meeting point, to facilitate circulation of European audiovisual works and to increase efficiency in the usage of resources. Despite a certain level of competition between festivals worldwide, we are convinced that each festival will always be stronger in a collaborative and cooperative environment. On the national level, we are involved in 2 festival associations. It's the Association of Austrian Film Festivals. Vienna Shorts is one of the founding members and long-time speakers. I was spokeswoman, and Daniel was the other spokesperson of the Austrian Association of Film Festivals for a long time. We established this initiative in 2011. It promotes the work of 20 Austrian film festivals, addressing Austrian politicians and decision makers, as well as the Austrian and European film industry, and local cinemas and audiences. In 2016, on our initiative, the Austrian Film Festival report on the situation of film festivals in Austria was commissioned, which in turn gave us more arguments about the significance of film festivals in Austria. I brought all the other film industry segments are organized in more or less strong associations. It is very important to bring the festivals together to be able to represent the common interests loudly and strongly. As is the case with such large groups, it is not always easy to vote in favor of a common line, which everyone must support. Our experience, however, is that only a strong lobbying group can be successful. The other association in Austria is Fair Festival Work Now. I mentioned that fair pay is an important issue to us. My festival co-director, Daniel Ebner, is a co-founder of this young initiative as well. And the key mission here is to work for social security and adequate wages for festival workers. Then on the international level, we are members of the International Short Film Conference. I'm sure you know this organization. It's a worldwide platform for institutions that promote short filmmaking and short film presentation. Okay, so I come to the concrete networks we are in now on the European level. One is quite simply called European Short Film Network. It has been established in 2018 by 3 European short film festivals, the German festival Kurzfilmtage Oberhausen, the Dutch Go Short Festival, and Vienna Shorts, and has close ties to the British Associates Berwick Film and Media Arts Festival. The network, which will most probably expand further in the next years, originally started from practical needs. All the institutions use the young festival management tool called Film Chief, that is now further developed collaboratively, something like that. This saves us all time and money, as the costs for every development can be shared and every new tool then be implemented by each festival. This successful synergy has used as starting point for a stronger collaboration on a content level, including combined industry programs, combined thematic film programs, a shared video library, mutual support for artists and curators' mobility. Thus together actively and sustainably promoting short filmmaking and developing a set of online tools for all professionals visiting one of the involved festivals. Together, the festivals reach a wide-ranging audience and strive to make the short film form more accessible throughout Europe. About another European short film project, we will talk in more detail with Anne later on. I want to just mentioning it briefly. It's Talking Shorts. The critical examination of short film on an academic and journalistic level is still on a comparatively weak level, despite the clear professionalization of the festival scene over the past 10 to 15 years. A joint network initiative on festivals and film critics initiated by Filmfest Dresden and Vienna Shorts, as well as the FIBRESCI member Ricardo Brunn and the Nisimasa magazine editor-in-chief Nils Puttmann is changing this situation. From 2020 on, the project Talking Shorts will enable film critics to write about 2 films from each of the participating festivals and to receive payment for these reviews by the platform. The collected reviews will be published on a newly developed website. It's talkingshorts.com, if I'm right, which will also be promoted by all participating festivals, including Berlinale Shorts, Indie Lisboa, Encounters Film Festival, as well as 13 festivals more. This is the status now. Thus providing an overview of the most important short films of a season over the course of a year. The next network I want to present is Be Short Now. The project Be Short Now is a joint initiative of the festival's Torino Short Film Market. Thanks Enrico, he's the driving force behind it. Gijon International Film Festival, Go Short, Glasgow Short Film Festival, and Vienna Shorts, and has since 2019 been aiming to make the industry program of short film festivals more sustainable by recording panels, lectures or workshops, and making them available on a website. We work with other festivals in some other festival collaborations. One is the Triangle program, and we'll talk to Matt about it later. Since 2013, Vienna Shorts has organized the so-called Triangle program, which is a project for substantial international corporations. Every year, we invite 2 festivals to deal with a socio-political topic that we have defined and to curate a program for it. Together with Vienna Shorts program, the 3 programs then go on tour for all 3 festivals. Usually we work with our festival focus theme. Last year it was Courage, and before it was Trust Me or We Need to Disagree. We developed this collaborative program exchange also in order to intensify the collaborations that had already existed with numerous European and international film festivals. This initiative was praised as one of the best examples of multilateral festival collaboration at last year's Short Film Festival in Winterthur. And also at a media desk panel in Motorwohn this year, the Triangle program was praised as one of the most substantial and strongest collaborations programs in the festival circuit. Yeah, that makes us very proud. In the past years, we have collaborated with the short film festivals from Tampere, Uppsala, Winterthur, Hamburg, as well as with Indie Lisboa, Festival de Nouveau Cinema in Montreal, L'Alternativa in Barcelona, Motorwohn Film Festival, Odense Film Festival, and Glasgow. Yeah, with you, Matt. Apart from the Triangle cooperation, Vienna Short's programs are regularly commissioned by festivals from other countries. On the one hand, to strengthen cooperation, on the other hand, also to save costs. In 2019, the late night program Popcorn was shown both in Vienna and in Nijmegen at the Go Short Festival before. Vienna Short's curator Maria Milovanovic gave a guest performance with a cat-themed program in Uppsala this year. Curated programs were also presented in Albania, South Korea, Slovakia, and several countries more. Yeah, these are some current examples of our festival cooperations. But after all the fine examples, I can only add that one important thing is not to get tired and to advocate higher festival subsidies and more planning security, for example, through multi-year subsidies. It is essential that we work together to achieve this, and yeah, because the festival is still a basis we need for networking as well. And yeah, finally, I want to give you some 5 well-meant advices for the network work. Don't initiate the festival network without resources. That's important. You need time and good stuff and financial possibilities. Plan in advance who can take over the media application. I'm sure at some point you have to have somebody who writes this application. Because I'm sure everybody of you will find a supposedly matching call to whatever idea you have. Yeah, the common goals of the network should at least sound realistic. That's also important. Acknowledge from the beginning that you will have bad conscience because you have to answer an email for quite a long time, for some days, and vice versa. You will wait as well for your answers, I'm sure. And last but not least, enjoy working together with your partners and mostly friends. And develop nice ideas together, because cooperation always is better and brings out something new. And I think something new is what the world needs. First, so Anne is a Deputy Festival Director, as Enrico mentioned, of Filmfest Dresden in Germany. She's also Festival Coordinator and responsible for the Visegrad Forum. I hope we can talk about it a bit later as well. You have worked for a production company in Dresden for a long time, and you are a member of the International Commission of your festival. And since this year, you have also been involved in the management of the festival. The Filmfest Dresden, if you don't know anything about it, and I hope you will explain a bit more about your festival as well, was founded in 1989. So it's quite an old, 30-year-old festival. It is an international short film festival with more than 20,000 visitors and more than 60 film programs, which take place every year in April. It is one of the highest endowed short film festivals. That's what I learned now in Europe. It's true. Good. Yeah, a small introduction to Matt. Matt is Festival Director of the Glasgow Short Film Festival since 2008, and 2008 was the founding year of the festival? Something. 2010, okay, sorry. It's Scotland's leading international short film festival. He was a short film programmer of Edinburgh International Film Festival before. You published a critical history of this festival, that's what I read. And you also have directed at least 3 short films that I found out. No, not talking about his short films. Okay, we changed the subject. Okay, the Glasgow Short Film Festival exists since 2008. It is, compared to the Filmfest Dresden, quite a young festival. You have international and Scottish competition at your festival, and it takes place in March every year. Okay, I want to start talking with Anne about the Talking Shorts project. It will be launched in Clermont-Ferrand next year at the festival. And Talking Shorts, the magazine, will publish short film reviews from recent European films, including excerpts and trailers of the reviewed films, maybe, maybe not. There are a lot of festival partners involved, I mentioned them earlier. Could you explain us and tell us a bit about the concept, the idea, and the growing of this project?
And I think everybody who has a festival or works for a festival knows that local journalists don't really, not necessarily grasp the concept of short film. At least in Dresden, that's the case. For example, there's no proper critical review of those. I don't know what it's like with you guys. At the same time, I think a couple of years ago in Winterthur, there was a big talk about more collaboration between film festivals, where already the idea was mentioned of maybe collaborating on a platform like this. And then, I don't know, I think last year in Uppsala, so we always travel, so we always meet, and we and there, I remember there I talked to Daniel about it for the first time, so we started developing this idea of maybe having this platform where we, so the core idea is just to have short film reviews written by film critics who know a lot about short film, because there are not actually that many film critics who also focus on short films. So there are a few, we all know them, but the rest of them, if you look at even at cinema publications, short films are rarely mentioned unless you're a really big festival, probably like Oberhausen in Germany. They get good reviews, but then if it comes down to us or other festivals, the films don't get mentioned, the festivals don't get mentioned. Started this also with Ricardo Brunn, who is actually a film critic, who's in our selection committee in Dresden, and so he was very enthusiastic about the idea, and he has the insight on all the film criticism. So we talked a lot, and we developed this platform called talkingshorts.com. And as Doris also mentioned earlier, never start a project if you don't have any, how do you say, funding, backup, resources? Well, we have our resources are our ideas. So the idea behind this is not because to involve or other short film festivals, such as we also talked to Glasgow Short Film Festival about it, for example, because we want the festivals to contribute to this platform, because without the festivals, this platform would not be able to exist, because we need the support of the platform. And maybe I also should mention, because this is also just starting out now, we're just in the middle of founding an association, because we actually want to, how do you say, we don't want Dresden or Vienna as festivals to be the main, how do you say, drive behind the website, or the platform. We want this to be independent, so everybody gets like all the festivals are basically equal in this. The structure would be that festivals become supporting members, they pay a little fee, and which will be the base for the platform. Because we, as you also mentioned, want to pay the film critics a fair fee for their reviews of the short films. Because if we want, also the idea is to send them to the other festivals, to the supporting festivals, to make short film more visible in the online or in general, to make it more visible. And also by creating this network of film festivals and to having those supporting festivals, I think you can also, you can nurture each other, you can support each other, you can make it, you can kind of make advertising for each other, so you kind of you promote the films better, because of course you want to make it visible on your websites. This year, for the first time, to have a workshop with for young and aspiring film critics. This is nothing new. This happens all the time at festivals, but also something that we noticed is these reviews then kind of disappear. You never read about the films. It's usually not in English, because we want the platform to be in English so everybody can read them. So these reviews disappear, and you don't really know what's happening to the participants. The idea is to have workshops at several festivals. They don't need to be the same festivals, and to basically grow our own short film critics with time, and make short film more visible.
The thing is the Triangle program. The invitation for the Triangle program, it came from our festival. Yeah, what was your first reaction, if you remember, and have you heard about the Triangle program before, and what were your experiences with it?
First of all, I'd just like to say, as we're in this room together, that I'm a citizen of the European Union. I hope to be a citizen of the European Union in 12 months. But if I'm not, then I'm also a citizen of Scotland, so hopefully a little time after that I will become a citizen of the European Union again. Right, Triangle, yes. So yes, we had heard of it before. In fact, we'd stolen the idea before. So we did actually do a version of it the year previously with 2 festivals, and I'll talk a bit about that later on, because some of the lessons of what doesn't work about the Triangle came true that year, but not with Vienna. So yes, we were Daniel approached us with the theme "We Need to Disagree," and what was very nice is that he approached me first, and then we together decided on the third partner. And it was shortly after the Catalan referendum. Catalan, yes. So we thought it'd be appropriate to talk to L'Alternativa in Barcelona. It was a very positive experience in many ways, because it allowed us to learn from our peers and to work with other experienced programmers without compromising on our own program. So each of us independently programs our own program. And yet the theme, it makes my life a lot easier, because there's a theme that's been imposed on me in the nicest possible way. And the way it works, just logistically, is that each festival pays the screening fees for their program for 3 screenings at the 3 different festivals. So it means that we can, in working with the filmmakers, we can negotiate fees for 3 screenings. And it means also that we can work at a level that we can afford. So I can benefit from perhaps a more richer festival, in that their program might show works that I couldn't afford to show on my own, and so I can show those works at my festival. And I can work at a level that I can afford. The other unexpected benefit is that my program is then seen at other festivals by other festival programmers who aren't attending Glasgow, to the point where we got invited to screenings to show the films in Brazil, 2 screenings in Brazil, and we were even offered to have our own travel and accommodation. On the downside, and these are small challenges rather than problems, but for the festivals that aren't the host festival, I mean, obviously this is something that Vienna has been doing for 6 years or so, and for Vienna, the Triangle theme, the overriding theme of the program is it's on your poster. It's the kind of the driving theme of the festival that year. Whereas for us, it's unless we choose to build the whole festival around that theme, it's kind of additional to us. So it's a harder sell for our local audience. So I think when Daniel first approached me, he was interested perhaps in me presenting a program on Scotland versus England and independence referendum, and I felt by this point, like what was this last year, 2 years ago, 2017? I can't remember. By the time we'd done it, I was sick of that subject. So the program I actually did was about ethnic minorities in the UK in the context of Brexit, which was more interesting to me it was, and I think it travelled, but it was perhaps not what Daniel was immediately expecting. Another challenge that we experienced the year before was the perhaps wavering commitment of the partner festivals. I mean, because the initiative is spread out over 3 festivals who are at different points in the calendar. Things can change. You know, we all experience sudden, unexpected drops in funding, and so by the time we'd got to the 3rd festival, they decided that they weren't able to host this the Triangle program, and so I'm suddenly having to renege on agreements with filmmakers. And yeah, and it's not something that I hold against that festival. It was just the way it had to be. And also in terms of general communication, because we're all at different times of year, just ensuring that we can all deliver what's needed at the right time to each festival was a challenge, unless you're working quite ahead of time. But generally speaking, it was a really, really positive experience.
Incentive for festivals should be to make short films seen. So if you want to support the platform, you support short film to be seen. What we would like to achieve in return is what you also mentioned before, that we send film critics to the festivals, or they are invited, or they get the films. So from each festival there will be reviews on short films, at least on 2 short films. And with reviews, I don't mean just like a 250 character synopsis, but a proper, profound review on, or maybe even an interview with a filmmaker, or maybe you have a great focus program at the festival, so there will be more feature on the festival. Well, Daniel has spoken to a couple of festivals, one from the UK and one from Poland. I'm looking into Shimon's direction. Where apparently there are also financial sources on a national level, on a bigger scale, to support this kind of thing, to maybe support also film critics from those countries. I'm not really firm on the details yet, but this is also the nice thing about the exchange you have with the festivals. So you have these, everybody has different ideas of funding. I mean, we have a different, like I said, I use the Visegrad funding for this to also maybe promote short films from the region more. So I hope this will go a bit further as well, that we can also gather certain sources from different countries. And we also plan on applying with media, but we're not sure which call yet, because apparently the networking call doesn't apply to us, because it's a new initiative. So we're still looking, but yeah, you have to be creative with finances always.
No, I mean, that maybe answers also your question, because it's we invite 2 other festivals to share programs to one theme, to one main theme. So we invite 2 festivals and one main theme, one every year. So it means this network expands every year, because we always like every year we invite 2 other new festivals to this Triangle program. So it's there are always other festivals, like every year there are 2 new festivals invited to share their programs for this Triangle program with us. And those 3 programs, they travel to all the 3 festivals. So it's not like we do the programs every year with the same festivals. We change the festivals invited for the Triangle program. Yeah, how do we decide which festivals we invite? It's difficult. It's like every year it's difficult. But I don't know, somehow we come to a decision every year. It's about the festivals we know, the people we met the last years, and people we trust, and like a lot of things we talked already. It's also about timing, because it's important that we can, like all the 3 festivals or the programmers of the curated programs, the curators, they can visit all the 3 festivals. So it's important that the festivals are not in the same time, for example, like some organizational things. And we can manage to really program this thing. Like we also have the time to curate one program. It's for the next edition, so this is also important. And yeah, the festivals we choose, they have there is an existing contact usually, and there is a friendship most of the time. There is connection. We trust those festivals. We like them. We agree with their programming. We trust their their handwriting, their structure, their attitude towards short films and whatever they are. And yeah, we do a lot of things, like I mentioned, besides the festival. That's not just in networking with other festivals on the European level, but also on the in Austria and in Vienna. We do some exhibitions or we curate other programs for bigger partners or partners with money. We actively go to them and ask them, or we contact them. Like we have our sponsoring employee at the festival. He's working now on lists of possible partners. We write an email to them. We really say, hey, we are here. We also have old contacts, like I mentioned, the Vienna Tourist Board. They are always very, nice to us, let's put it that way. Or other partners, they support us for a long time now, smaller partners, marketing partnerships. We do a lot involved in this.
Actually, a question that we have encountered many, many times, and we have discussed this a lot. But Talking Shorts is not going to be a VOD platform. So the first thing, of course, is when films are really fresh, they are not usually available online. And we are fine with that. Because if we are lucky, you have a trailer to the film. What we also would do with the review or wherever to put like an information where you can find the film. I mean, sometimes they are already maybe on a VOD platform. Sometimes they're staff pick or whatever. So if this is available, we will use these resources. Or also, this is where the work part begins a lot, or if films become available after a while, so we can also add this to the platform. And what we also want to do, which is maybe more interesting for the industry than the audience as such, is we will have contact details about the distribution of the film, for example, if you want to get in touch with somebody. So, but we will not, right now there's no plan to have it as a VOD platform, apart from maybe working with those platforms to have the information where the film is available.
We consider ourselves as political film festival. That's what this one principle says. We think it's important for a film festival to have a political standpoint, and I think political in a broader way, not in a narrow-minded way. It's important for us that we are independent of public institutions, of churches, political parties, like all this. This is important, but we think it is important also to stand up for some political ideas we have, or we should. I mean, the world needs. Let's put it that way. Also, in terms of programming, we select the films, so it's important to have in mind that it's important to show films from women as well as men, like such things. It's important to perceive yourself as a festival with a political standpoint. That's what we mean with that.
Political. It's not about aligning yourself with any specific political party or position. It's very much about that independence and about thinking about everything you do, both the program but also the way you show your films and how inclusive you are and how accessible. I mean, everything's political in that sense, I guess.
I would like to thank Silvia first, and of course the Creative Europe Media Desk here for the help, and it was amazing to work with you again this year. And I really hope that you enjoyed this morning. I think, in my opinion, it was really fruitful for everybody, all the information that Doris gave and Matt and Hannah in the discussion also discussed. And now the important stuff, so food. So thank you so much. See you downstairs.